In Mark chapter 5, there's a story of the man who was possessed, who lived in the tombs in this far region when Jesus ventured there. And this man, that they couldn't even hold him in chains, he was living in the graveyard, as it was. And the town near there, the people were afraid. But when he came there, Jesus cast out the demons that were in this man. And then they said, well, what are you going to do with us? And let us go in this herd of swine over here. And they went over, and the swine, jumped off the cliff into the sea and died. And a man went into the town, the man who was watching the pigs, to tell the people what happened, because this was something really important. That was their bacon. This was their part of their livelihood. This was really important to this village. And the townspeople gathered together, and they came out to confront who had done this, to see what was going on. And I want us to see what happens when they get there. And this is in Mark chapter 5. And we're going to look at verse 15, but in verse 14 he says, those who fed the swine fled, and they told it in the city and in the country, and they went out to see what it was that had happened. So this is all this people, this crowd, we don't know how many. Verse 15, the specific verse we want to look at here, and it says, and then they came to Jesus, and they saw the one who had been demon-possessed and had the legion sitting, and he was clothed. And he used to go around naked. He didn't wear clothes. He didn't keep clothes or chains, any kinds of bonds on. He was free in that sense, but living in the tombs. So here he was. He was sitting with Jesus. He's clothed and in his right mind. And they were afraid. So what they saw was this man who they'd given up on, that they'd said, he's just crazy Henry, I don't know his name. He was there in the tombs, in the graveyard. He was not in his right mind, running around naked. Who knows what was going on, because he was demon possessed. But when they hear the man comes to the city and in the country and says, this is what happened, and all the pigs are dead, tossed into the sea. And they came and they saw this man who had been demon possessed sitting there with Jesus. He's clothed. Obviously, they're talking. There's something going on. He's sitting there, and he's in his right mind. Now, how much time do you think passed between when Jesus cast out the legion and the townspeople showed up? It probably wasn't much. Maybe it was a couple hours. He's sitting there talking with Jesus, in his right mind, completely changed, having been set free from the possession, from this bonds and chains that he was held in by these demons. I want us to think about what an encounter with Jesus can do in a very short period of time. For this man, an hour, 2 hours, he's in his right mind. He is sitting there, he's talking with Jesus. An encounter, being set free. His life is completely and forever changed. I'd love to know the man's name. He wants to go with Jesus, but Jesus tells him, you go and tell everybody about me and what I've done for you. So he sends him, in essence, as an evangelist to go back to where he's from, to speak to the people and tell them about Jesus, which is what an evangelist does. This man had a brief, maybe 2-hour encounter with Jesus. And his whole life is changed, and other people's lives are changed because of him and through him. So what does your encounter with Jesus, what is the impact and the outcome of the encounters that you have with Jesus? This man's were profound. Yours have no reason to be any less profound. But you receive the freedom he gives. Receive the love, the beauty, the compassion, the passion that he shares with you, and let your life be changed. And you can experience this in such a short period of time, as can anyone else that you bring Jesus to. Freedom does not require a long time. It can happen in a moment, and within a very short period of time, your whole life, somebody else's life, is completely and totally changed.